Hello, good morning everyone. This year we are going to look into how to prepare the petty cash book in this video. I was planning to deliver this in the lesson, but I thought if we can get through the theory of preparing the petty cash book in the video, it will be easier for us to do the activities in the classroom. Okay, so this video is I'm going to explain to you how to prepare a petty cash book, how to balance a petty cash book, and what is meant by impressed system. Okay, so let's take a quick look into that. This was the presentation which we used for all the cash books and the day books also. So let's try through and find the presentation for the petty cash book first, and then we will start off the topic. Okay, so petty cash book is prepared for small cash expenses. Okay, so we done the cash book in the last lesson. Cash book is prepared to record all the monies in and monies out of the business, that is payments to suppliers, receipts from customers, cash sales, cash purchases, etc. But sometimes you do spend money for small items like buying tea or coffee, or buying some stamps, paying for postage, or paying for cleaning of the office, or something like that. So sometimes when you spend small cash transactions, you do not want to record them in the cash book, because cash book is recording the main elements of money in and money out. So you prepare a separate account or a day book, which is a petty cash book, to prepare small cash expenses. Now, to maintain this petty cash book, you will have one person in your office who will be called as a petty cash manager. Now, this person will have some money or some amount of cash with him, and whenever employee spends any money for the office, he gets that money reimbursed back from the petty cash manager. Like, take for example, I'm going to use a small example over here. Okay, let's open a new sheet. So let's say in your office you have like maybe 5 employees. Okay, a small business. Then a person called John will be appointed the petty cash manager. Okay, let's assume from the cash account you give him some money to run your petty cash book. Okay, let's say you have given him £100 to run the petty cash book. Okay, now this John have different people working under him. Okay, so let's say there are 4 different employees. Okay, so we have employee 1, then employee 2, and then employee 3. Okay, let's assume 3 employees. Okay, so employee 1, let's say is named Elena. Employee 2, let's say is named Ahmed. And employee 3, let's name as Krista. Okay, now let's say Elena bought some tea and coffee powders for the office when she went for shopping. Okay, and she spent £5 to buy this. Okay, so when she is spending this money, she will not be asking John to pay the money beforehand. Okay, so she went usually for shopping, and then she spent £5 to buy tea and coffee for the office. So she has spent this money for the business. Okay, it's not her personal expenditure. She spent £5 for the business to buy tea and coffee. Then she needs to claim this money from John. So to claim this money, she prepares a document called as petty cash voucher. In this petty cash voucher, she will explain the details of why the claim was made, any receipt if she has a copy of that, and she will sign it to say that she is making the claim. Okay, signed by claimant. And then it will need to be authorized by John. And once all of this is completed, once all of this is completed, then John will reimburse that £5 back to Elena. So in the same way, let's say Ahmed has spent some money for travel to meet a customer. Okay, and he spent, let's say, £12. Okay, So again he will need to prepare a petty cash voucher to claim the money. Let's say Krishna over here has spent 10 pounds to send a parcel to a customer again. Then she will also need to prepare a petty cash voucher. Okay. So in total, the amount of money they spent so far, okay, total spent will be 5 pounds for tea and coffee, plus 12 pounds for travel, plus 10 pounds to spend a parcel. Okay. So in total they have spent 27 pounds until now. But at the beginning they have 100 pounds. Okay. So then once you finish preparing, you need to calculate the balance. Okay. So how much money is left over? Okay. So balance will be 100 minus 27, which is going to be 73 pounds. Okay. So they had 100 pounds to begin. During the week, 3 employees have claimed 3 different amounts of money. So all this money they have claimed by using a petty cash voucher. And once the money has been claimed, in total they have spent 27, and we have, let's assume the week has come to the end. So in the beginning they had 100 pounds balance. So 100 minus 27, they now have a closing balance of 73 pounds still remaining. So next week, to open the petty cash again, they will not be using 100 pounds because they already have a balance brought down from the last week of 73 pounds. So if they again withdraw 100 pounds, their balance is going to become 173. And they don't want, or any business does not want too much cash in their petty cash. Okay. So what they will do is, they will only withdraw the money what they have spent. And that way you can see that their opening balance is again going to be 100 pounds. So this procedure, where they are only withdrawing the money what they spent, is called as impressed system. Okay. So this is how you prepare a petty cash book. Okay. So one person will be given the position as a petty cash manager. You will withdraw money from the cash account and give it to him. Any employee, whenever they spend any money on behalf of the business, they prepare a document called petty cash voucher to claim the money from the petty cash manager. This petty cash voucher will record details of why the claim was made. A receipt as a proof will be signed by the claimant, that is the employee, and will be authorized by the petty cash manager, who over here is John. Once it is authorized, this money will be given to the employee. So here we are assuming 3 employees have claimed 3 different amounts for various reasons. So the total amount of money spent is 27 pounds. In the beginning you started with 100 pounds. So 100 minus 27, you still have 73 pounds left over in your petty cash book. So at the end of the week, you close the petty cash book and open it again in the next week. So next week, to open the petty cash book, you already have a balance of 73, which came from the previous week. So to start your petty cash book again, you will not withdraw 100 again, because you already have 73. So you will only withdraw the money what was spent in the last week. So the money what was spent in the last week was 27. So you will withdraw 27, making it a opening balance of 100 pounds again. And this procedure of where you only withdraw the money spent is called as impressed system. Okay. You will only withdraw the amount of money spent. Okay. So that is called as impressed system. Okay. Now let's look into the theory again. So that is how you maintain your petty cash book. Okay, so petty cash book is prepared to record small cash expenses. Then let's take a look at how petty cash voucher looks like. So as you said, a petty cash voucher is prepared to reclaim the money back, and it needs to be authorized before any money is paid. So let's see how the petty cash voucher looks like. So this is how a petty cash voucher looks like. So you can see there is a heading, petty cash voucher. There is a sign by the authorized by. This is the petty cash manager who needs to sign to authorize the payment. There is a sign by received by. This is the employee who is claiming the money. There will be a petty cash voucher for every document, a number, a unique number, just like the invoices. So if you are starting with 130, then you'll continue to 131, 132, 133, 134, so on. Date when you spend the money, description or the details of how much money you spent, the net, the VAT and any total. In this one there is no VAT, so the net and the total are the same. And once the petty cash voucher is prepared and claimed, the money will be refunded. Now all these petty cash vouchers are the proofs that the petty cash expenses have been made. So these vouchers will need to be recorded into a book of prime entry called petty cash book. So let's take a look at the petty cash book layout. Okay. So usually petty cash book is prepared to record expenses. So that's why we have more details on the expenses side and only 3 columns to show the receipts, because whenever you withdraw money coming into the petty cash book, that's your receipts. So I'll explain this and then we will look into a sample question. So how much money you received to start the petty cash book? On the 3rd of April you received £100. Now let's see how much money was spent during this week from the petty cash book. So again you have date, narrative or the details. Every time you pay a voucher, you need to record the voucher number and how much money you have paid for that particular employee. Now this money paid to the employee will all need to be recorded into the analysis columns. So first one over here is for tea and coffee, so you put it under the total column. But also we have a different analysis column to show more details. So tea and coffee is not postage or travel, so we put under a separate heading called tea and coffee. Then you spend money for train fare, so you put it under travel. Then you spend money for stationery, so you put it under sundry, because there is no column for stationery. Sundry means miscellaneous. Anything whichever you cannot classify, you will put it under sundry. If any value has VAT on that, the VAT and the net value will need to be recorded separately. And once all the items are recorded, you will calculate your balance. Okay. So let's continue this discussion by looking at a sample petty cash book. Okay. I'm going to show you how to prepare a petty cash book. We are going to do more activities in the lesson. So this is the petty cash book. So let's take a look at this first question here, activity 1. 2 petty cash vouchers have to be entered into the partially completed petty cash book below. So here they already given you a petty cash book, but they are telling you that it's partially completed. So you can see the receipts have been entered, but only one payment has been entered until now and no other payments have been entered. Okay. So let's see how do we complete this petty cash book. So we have 2 vouchers to be entered. So the first voucher was on the 22nd of June. So we write the date 22nd of June. The reason we spent money was to buy A4 paper. So we write A4 paper. Total amount of money spent is 24. So put the total under the total column. VAT is £4. So VAT £4 under the VAT column. And paper comes under office expenses. So the net value of £20 under office expenses. Next we have one more. This time on the 23rd of June. You spent money for cleaning, window cleaning. Total column, how much money you spent. Now there is no VAT on that. So no recording any VAT. And this £10 is not office expenses, cleaning expenses. So put it under cleaning expenses. 10 pounds. Okay. So there were only 2 vouchers and the 2 vouchers have been entered. Now I am going to show you how to balance it. So in order to balance it, first record the totals of all the sides. Okay, all the amount columns have to be totaled. Okay. So in total, you started off on the receipt side with 125 pounds. Out of that 125 pounds, you spent 74 pounds already. Okay, so let's calculate the balance. So balance is 125 minus 74. Okay, let's see how much will that give you, which is going to be 51 pounds. Okay, so out of 125 pounds, you spent 74 pounds already. So a balance of 51 pounds is still remaining. Once you calculate that, remove this total from here. If possible, don't enter it here. Maybe do it separately. Okay. So this 74 over here is the total money spent. Remove it from here. Then on the last day of the month, do the balancing. Sometimes you do it on the last day, sometimes you do it at the end of the week. Okay, the dates will be given to you, so you don't have to worry which date to enter. Then call it balance carried down. C/D is carried down. That means you're carrying this balance into the next week or next month. So how much is the balance left over? We calculated was 51 pounds. And then once you calculate the balance, if you check the total on this side also now, the total on this side is also 125. So the receipt total and the payments total is equal. For your petty cash book to be accurate, the totals should be same after you enter the balance. So that's the balancing of the petty cash book. And then what will be the amount of cash withdrawn from the bank to restore the interest to 125? So they're asking in the next week, if you want to open the petty cash book again, how much money should be withdrawn from the bank? So you already have 51. So 127 minus 51. So how much money you need to be withdrawing will be 74. So that is how you prepare a petty cash book. Okay, 125 minus 51 will give you 74. So this is one of the petty cash books. Now I'm going to add this document to you along with the video. So try to print them off and bring it, and there are more activities in this which we can try in the class tomorrow. Okay, so this is how you prepare the petty cash book. Please watch this video, print out the document and bring it to the lesson. Thank you everyone.